look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to talk to you about is one thing I think all black men are tired of. Black men are tired of the excuses that modern day women, black women in particular, are giving them. Women are making every type of excuse they can think of underneath the sun as to why they cannot be feminine, as to why they cannot cater to men, as to why they cannot be subservient to men, as why they cannot be a good helpmeet to men for this reason, for that reason, and this reason. So what I'm going to show you is one woman in particular who's going to give you some outrageous excuses. And two of those reasons is the reason why she cannot be feminine, the reason why black women cannot be in their soft girl era is because tampons cost too much and because bed sheets cost too much. This is ridiculous. So let's go ahead and get into this subject matter, man. 1 second as I pull it up for you, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Let's get it.
I don't think enough men realize how expensive it is to be a soft, feminine woman. And the softer you are, the more expensive it is. Like if you're a woman that I only sleep on silk sheets. Well, silk sheets are expensive, guy. Just basic, keep up your hair, your nails. A nail set with your feet and a pedicure, like a basic one, we talking about $150, $200. So that's every 2 weeks. And if
So basically what this woman's saying is the reason why she cannot be a lady to you, gentlemen, the reason why she cannot submit to a man, give the man the proper respect that he deserves, be a good woman, be a good wife, and be this soft girl that we always talk about, to be the type of woman who is submissive and cooperative to us, is because that it's expensive to look like a lady. The nails, the hair, it just costs too much. It's too much of an inconvenience to do those things, to become that type of nice, soft, pleasant woman to be with. And bed sheets, silk bed sheets. Not every black woman wants to sleep on a silk bed sheet, but if she does, what does that have to do with you behaving in such a way that you have good, elegant decorum when it comes to dealing with black men? What does bed sheets and nails have to do with you having a bad attitude, an attitude that is difficult to get along with? What does any of that have to do? Your excuses are ridiculous. Just say you don't want to be a kind woman. Just say you don't want to be a virtuous woman. Just say you don't want to be a woman that could be considered a helpmeet to a man. Just say you don't want to be nice to be around, pleasant to be around. Just say that.
If you're a short girl, your hairstyle is going to be between 100 and 150 because you got to get a haircut and a relaxer in between time. Oh, and if you're a natural girl, a silk press could be $200 depending on who you're going to. So these soft, feminine women that you want, it costs money. Shit, tampons didn't went up. Pads didn't went up. Penny liners have went up. So we can't keep being broke and then I can't be broke and needing tampons. Like you got to make more money. So now to afford tampons, I got to bring an extra $20,000 a year. So now I'm at $70,000. I'm sorry.
So now tampons. Yes, you heard it. You heard it from a black woman. She said tampons is also the reason why she cannot be submissive, why she cannot be a soft girl. Tampons. You women are extremely delusional. And it's sad to hear this coming from women's mouths. Now let me show you something else. A lady who says, if you are a person who drives a car, the fact that you are driving a car makes you ghetto. You're ghetto if you are a person who owns a car, who drives a car. She don't want one. Let's keep getting it, man.
I said driving is ghetto. There are people who are offended by it. You don't get it, you don't get it, which is fine. I do not drive. I do not have a car. I do not like driving.
And that's the reason why she's saying that if she drives a car, it's ghetto, because she don't have a car. You get it? It's ghetto. So if a man is successful and has a car, he's ghetto for driving a car. If she doesn't have a car, if she has a car and she drives it, then she's ghetto. Now listen to the reasons why she doesn't drive a car.
Mine needs so much space during the day to think through all of the amazing visions that I have for myself, for my life, for my vision, that I don't want to be worried about the color of the light. I don't want to pump gas. I just don't believe that that is the best use of my time, my energy, and I simply don't want to do it. And I think Black girl luxury means that whatever you want or don't want, you create a life around that.
So Black girl luxury means you not driving a car because it's ghetto. So if you're in a relationship and my truck break down and I need a ride somewhere, you can't help me. Remember, your function is a help me. So if you don't have a car, now I gotta look to Uber. I gotta ask friends. I gotta ask people to take me, to run me here and there. When my woman should be the one I can go to if she has a car. You women are putting yourselves in a position where you have no use. You don't want to be used. That's dumb. You should want to be used. I don't mind you using me. Just don't misuse me. We're supposed to be able to use each other to get to that next level. We're supposed to be able to use each other's talents and abilities to get to that next level. You women who are so-called educated with all these different degrees, men are supposed to be able to use your degrees to get to the next level with you. Men lead. But what I'm saying is you bring something to the table so we can build something. A lot of you women want to come to the table with nothing except your looks. You can't build nothing after your vajayjay. We can't build nothing on your vajayjay or your looks. You have to bring something to the table, not only domestic skills and a pleasant personality and the ability or the willingness to cooperate and to be submissive and to be, just a good old nice woman to be around. It takes more than that. It takes money. It takes resources. So if a woman who says some shit like that is not a good helpmeet. I'm gonna show you some more excuses. It's sad, bro. The stuff I come across. Listen to this. Black women say they can't find good men. Let's listen to this.
Listen, Black women come across a lot of successful Black men every day. They not hard to find. You know what it is? A lot of the Black men who are qualified, they not interesting. That's what it is.
Boring. Okay, he's right. Black men are everywhere. Good Black men are everywhere. They're at the gas station, they're at the Costco's, they're at the Sam's Club, they're at the Walmart, they're at the favorite retail store. They are at restaurants. You walk past them in passing, but you don't want them because they're not interesting. In other words, they're not toxic, like Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nook Nook. Think about it. You'd rather be with Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nook Nook instead of Black men. But do you want to say that there are no good Black men? There are good Black men out there. You don't want these good Black men. That's the excuse they always give, that there are no good Black men. The real truth is you don't want good Black men. You want the men who are going to drag you through the mud. That's what you want.
What it is. That's what it is. They know what they doing, gang. It's just that a lot of the men that they find interesting aren't in a tax bracket, but he exciting.
Yep.
It's successful Black men everywhere.
Yep.
They can find them. They know where they at, but they want to choose to go after recycled men. That's what it is, gang. They come here and tell lies.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you, Science Man. I'm talking about for the majority of women. They come here and tell lies. They family be warning them about these relationships with these men. They don't listen. They sisters.
That's true. A lot of women who date the wrong type of men normally get warnings from family members and friends. Okay, they ignore that because they don't want good men. They want bad men. It's called a spade a spade. You don't want decent men. You want men who are not decent. Stop blaming us. Take accountability for what you are doing and take accountability for what you are not doing.
Listen, they sisters, they brothers, they uncles, everybody be telling them they run back to these men. They don't just get, bamboozled one time. They get this man multiple chances until this man just run her into the ground. Then she come with this story. Oh, I didn't know. He told me this. He told me that. He told you everything in the world. And his actions ain't showed not once. Come
on. Excuses. Now, this one lady gonna tell you something that kind of make a little sense. Let me pull it up for you, ladies and gentlemen.
You ask God for a good man, but when you ask God for a good man, it also points out how many flaws
you have. Because when you're in a toxic relationship, you can justify why you run, why you don't do the hard things, because you're like, this is not my person. So I can really just bow out respectfully. And then I also know that this person is not necessarily deserving of me. So I'm not going to work towards it. I'm not going to fix my flaws. I'm not going to even acknowledge them because his flaws are way worse than my flaws. But
Now let's take a look at this deeper. A lot of women choose the wrong type of men, a bad character, Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nook Nook, because they don't have to take accountability for their own personal actions. Because if they got a man who ain't shit, then they don't have to worry about being shit themselves because they got a man who ain't shit. When you got a good, decent man, he's going to push you to be the best version of yourself so that you can be the best version of you for him, which means you got to take accountability for your attitude, accountability for your reckless mouth, knowing when to shut up, knowing when to speak, knowing how to be compassionate, knowing how to be empathetic to a man's needs, knowing how to be empathetic and sympathetic to others, and know how to be, again, empathetic to your children, knowing how to be a good example when it comes to being a black woman to other black women, dressing in modesty, being virtuous, having a good character, things like that. And when you are lacking those things, you feel inadequate. Not only do you feel inadequate, but you refuse to change those inadequacies because it takes work. It takes effort. The truth is, and let's be real, you love being the way that you are. You don't want to change for nobody. Even when you know the way that you are is extremely toxic, lady. Even when you know the way that you are is a person that no one wants to be around. You just want everything your way because you are narcissistic, you are self-centered, and you are self-entitled. You're entitled. You think everyone owes you something. You think the world owes you. That men are supposed to jump through hurdles, climb the highest mountains, and swim through shark-infested waters just to please your musty back ass. Okay? Just be honest. Say the truth. You love being a rotten individual. You don't want to change. You don't want to seek therapy. You don't want to follow a man's direction. Just be honest with the world, because the world already looks at you as such.
But when you get a good man or woman, it requires you to face all the toxic parts of yourself that you haven't faced. So just understand that when God sends you your person, yes, it's going to be the best relationship you've ever been in, the most healthy, but it's also going to require the most work, because it's also going to point out all of your flaws and your offenses and the ways that you fall short. And you won't be able to run from it. You won't be able to just block them. You won't be able to just justify any of your bad behavior or your toxic qualities. You're going to have to face it head on, because you're...
Exactly. Women who deal with good men always run from good men. If they find themselves in a relationship that is healthy and is a good man, they run from that because accountability is there. When you are with a good man, you got a living mirror, because you see the man is doing everything he's supposed to do as a man. He's treating you right. He's handling business. He's providing. He's protecting, and all those things that you want. Now it forces you to look at yourself to see whether or not are you doing what you're supposed to do, or are you seeing your own shortcomings in the actions of that good man. You starting to evaluate yourself and say, I'm not a good woman because I give him attitude. I am disrespectful. So you run from them. But when you are with Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nook Nook, there's a comfort zone there because he's acting like you. And you can relate to the chaos because you are chaotic. So you don't run from them. These women will stay in these relationships with Pookie for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, decades, getting beat up in them, disrespected before they move on to another man. They always seem to have a string of failed relationships. These type of women who do not want good men, period.
You're going to have to face it head on, because your person, they're going to be willing to fight for you. They're going to be willing to see you flaws and all and still go hard for you. They're not going to run. They're going to be all up in your business, all up in your face. And guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to face it or fold. And you already know, ain't nothing in these streets, so you might as well face it.
Facts. Let me know what you think about this content. I appreciate it. You have a good day now. You